Welcome to another episode of Nerd Out. I'm Randy. This is Tommy, and you know what I just realized? Our names are sort of like the names that would be given to like bullies in '80s like high school movies.
Totally.
Like, yo, Tommy, Randy, go beat up those pussies.
Right. Yeah. Hey, everybody, Randy's coming. Let's get out of here.
But we're here. Tommy, you're my guest here, and we are talking about I guess the gross out genre. Like when we're children of the '80s. If you are, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you'll be educated, I suppose. But like in the '80s, I don't know, what was it, like 82, 83? Like I would say what started out, I want to say Garbage Pail Kids started out, but before Garbage Pail Kids was Wacky Packages.
Yeah.
Now, did you collect Wacky Packages?
I did not. No, I got a book. I don't remember where I found it, but it's like all of the card art from the first full series
Of Wacky Packages?
Of Garbage Pail Kids. And it's got a foreword in it. It's like maybe 4 or 5 pages.
Right.
That's about, it's from the artist about like where he started.
Yeah.
And it was just a job for him. Like he started off like working at Wacky Packages and making, this art for these things, and they're like, oh, Cabbage Patch Kids is coming out. We need to let's jump on that bandwagon. And so they charged him with creating this whole first series.
Wow.
And it was just it was just a job for him, and it went huge.
It exploded. My memories, honestly, I remember my mom actually I have 2 brothers, took me and my brothers, Mike and Dave, literally from store to store to find any of them. And finally we arrived at the store that was called The Whiz. It was like a candy store. I think it was The Whiz. And they had a bin of them, and it was like whoa, and they were $0.25 a piece. So my mom probably dropped like $10, which isn't a lot of money, but $10 of Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, that is a lot.
It was.
I don't remember how much a
mind-blowing.
pack was. I don't have any sealed packs.
Did you start at the first series?
I did, but only maybe a few packs.
Okay.
Because actually I went through all of mine last year and took a look to see what I had.
Yeah.
And I remember that after the fact, they had boxes of them on clearance.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I bought
series 18.
Mine was 4.
Okay, that's
so
still
I bought 2 boxes of 4, and they're basically worthless now. But
there's some value. Like Atom Bomb is hot. But okay, so here's the question.
The Dracula one, the vampire one.
Something Don and
I can't remember their names.
And I know Ray Gunn was the coolest because it was a Gundam and a Macross.
Yes.
Was that Ray Gunn or was that no? Ray Gunn was. It wasn't. It was. It was Robot or something.
Yes.
Roybot. So okay, Tommy is a common name. What were do you remember yours?
I didn't until we sat down.
Yeah.
And Tommy Gunn.
Really? Tommy Gunn.
It's weird because I don't know if I have that one, so I kind of never associated with anyone but Tommy Gunn.
I remember that was a big thing. Is who was your name?
Your name?
I was Wrinkled Randy. It was kind of lame.
Randy.
And then Handy Randy.
I remember which was Wrinkled Randy.
It was an old man in a rocking chair. I gotta be honest, it was kind of a lame one.
Yeah.
I was not really that into it, but you gotta like it. I wanted to be Atom Bomb. Tommy Gunn was a good one.
Yeah. That one I actually, I was proud of that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I imagine there was a few Tommies.
I don't remember any other Tommies.
Oh, man.
My nickname from some of my friends I don't even know. No, it was Tommy Salami. So I was
okay.
glad that wasn't what it was,
right,
which
right.
I don't know what that would be.
I was collecting for my whole family, my family's names, and I was gonna get them framed, but there's no daughter. But Stacy had a good one. Stacy. That's a good one.
Wasn't there one that just reminded me a Mars Attacks one too? That was that.
Oh,
that brain head, or was that might have been copyright?
That could have been Mars. Yeah, there was a lot of questionable copyright infringement.
Yeah.
The
Roy
one. Yeah. How did they get away with that? They were just
I guess if it's parody.
Yeah,
because the same thing with Wacky Packs. Those are all.
That's true. That's true.
Those major whatever.
Yeah. But Garbage Pail Kids exploded. It was a phenomenon. And what had happened is it led into
movie?
Oh, we'll get to the movie, but you're going way ahead of me. We'll get to that movie. All right, let's go into the movie. Did you see that movie in the theater?
I did not see it as a kid.
I didn't see it as a kid either.
That would have
changed my life
recently.
It's creepy.
It's creepy, and it's
it's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it haunting?
It's weird.
It is so weird.
Because I have a thing for bad movies.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I like bad movies.
Me too.
But that one is almost unwatchable to me.
It is, but it's just so creepy. Like the puppetry.
Yeah.
Like the people in the
It's
I
that
think
uncanny valley thing.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
But it totally was like, oh, what were they thinking? Like they were cashing in, but like it's still like I gotta watch it again. That's all there is to it.
Do you know what year that was?
It was I don't know.
Was that close to the Mario Brothers movie?
No, I think Mario. Oh, maybe you're right. It was definitely like at the end of the Garbage Pail Kid phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like it was like their last hurrah type thing. But again, like Garbage Pail Kids like inspired like a whole genre of like disgusting, boogery, slimy toys. And from that like. I mean, we got MadBalls.
Yeah.
Like MadBalls was kind of like some of them when you look at them, like they're pretty nasty. Like
they are. It's funny because I was thinking about it too after you mentioned the idea of talking about this. The gross out really like translated into everything too, if you think about it. Because like even He-Man has got stinkor.
Totally.
It's like
slime.
Yeah,
slime.
Slime.
Yes.
Slime changed the world of every toy.
Everything.
For the gross out purpose.
Yeah. Dude, I remember going to vending
this
machines.
Guy had the slime.
Yeah,
like that was the blood for the
Mad Scientist?
Mad Scientist Alien Autopsy.
I'm gonna
Dissecting Alien.
Okay.
Yeah, that was I could not remember the name of that for the longest time, and that was the hardest thing to find because I kept putting in Alien Autopsy instead of Dissecting Alien.
Oh, right on. I didn't have any Mad Scientists when I was a kid, but I loved the commercial. Did you have them?
Yeah. They had one that was like I want to find this one too. It's like it was 2 vats or a vat of something, and you'd have bones, like plastic bones, and you'd put this goop on the body, and then you put it in the vat, and it would all bubble away. It was like.
Did it actually work well though?
It worked okay.
Like that was.
It was like an Alka-Seltzer type deal where it was like acidic and it was you know mixed vinegar and things. Right. It was that kind of deal.
Which like slime. I think slime and Garbage Pail Kids came together and like. The possibilities were endless.
Yeah.
I think MadBalls were probably my favorite non-Garbage Pail Kid gross out. Like that was also
probably one of mine too.
And then they spawned their popularity spawned like weird balls, horror balls.
Oh yeah.
And I love like if you ever do research on some of the knockoff weird like MadBalls, there's some pretty crazy shit out there. Like I mean, like there's some really wacky stuff and like the
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes too.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if
that was later.
Were the toys around the same time as MadBalls?
No.
And the movie was earlier?
The movie was, I think, I'm not, don't quote me, it was 60s or 70s. And then the toys were like 1990.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
So it was much later.
Because it was a cartoon, too.
Yes, it was a cartoon.
I never saw that.
The toys didn't sell worth shit.
Yeah.
It's like now they're starting to like incur value. But I think it's like this resurgence of gross out.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest thing because when you look back at like the 80s, like that whole gross out stuff, like there was some weird shit. Like, do you remember Smack Ups? Like they were literally.
It's familiar. What is that?
It's people on skateboards getting totally smashed and mashed up, like completely like you could. I don't know. Could you get away with that today? Like they were pretty violent. Like there was like run over Susie. It was like a flattened girl. It was. Yeah. It was
well, that's the thing. Like, you've got some stuff out that are the new things, like the Grocery Gang. A lot of the new ones are all anthropomorphic other things. Like there's the Flush Force, which are all poop ones.
Yeah,
they come in those little toilets and stuff like
that. They're
that.
literally creatures that live in toilets.
Yeah,
like I mean. I think
I actually like those.
I like those too. Actually, my son was collecting them after your son introduced them, and it was fun. It was like you buy like this toilet, and then you get like a couple little like blind bag, gross creatures. And my only criticism for like again like modern gross out is the Grocery Gang. My only criticism is that like I think the like fluorescent colors kind of neuter the grossness of them.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
They tame it.
Yeah, they tame it.
Yeah, there was a thing with toxic waste in the 80s.
90s. Like
was it 90s too? I thought 80s. I thought it was like at least
you're right.
that
Absolutely.
started.
Well, you had G.I. Joe Toxic Fighters.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Toxic Avenger, Toxic Crusader, which was the weirdest
Toxic Avenger was a huge like gosh, when was that before or after?
Toxic Crusaders? Toxic Avenger the movie was early 80s.
Yeah.
And then Playmates, after the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, decided that it was appropriate to turn this completely vile movie, which is a great movie.
It is awesome.
Into a toy line for kids.
Yeah.
Like, if you've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah. No, and I mean, like, my memory of that first movie was renting it all the time, and one time it was like, it's the scene where they're in the locker room and they're like boning, and my mom came in and she's like, what is this? She's like, I didn't rent this for you. You're like, yeah,
yes you did. Dude, it was definitely, it was one of those movies that as a kid in the 80s, like, it was one of your introductions to like complete like vile like you know, I don't know, like just gross
the
shit.
Trauma of trauma.
Yeah, the trauma of trauma. I can't say that I've seen any other. I saw Toxic Avenger and Toxic Avenger 2.
Yeah.
And Toxic Avenger 2, if I recall, was PG-13. It was like tamer.
Yeah, I think so. But I think they got tamer as they went along because they got real big.
Right. Toxic Avenger 1 was hardcore though.
Yeah. No, there was some major nastiness in
there. There was. And then I guess I would consider Boglins as part of the gross out.
I would think so too. Like that was kind of like their shtick on the back of the packaging.
Can I check
too.
it out?
Yeah. It was definitely like they're gross and creepy, but they're super nice. Like
were they?
It was a real weird thing. Like because they're in a cage, and they're supposed to be kind of scary, but then it's like they're the nicest Boglin creatures.
They really are some of the freakiest like mainstream puppet toys.
They're
like,
creepy.
I think it's the eyeballs. It's definitely the eyeballs.
Those are creepy as hell.
What
that eye movement is weird.
I never had one, but I wanted one.
I never had a big one until recently. I always had the little tiny. I had a
you
tiny
had one
purple
as a kid?
one. Yeah. I loved
them too. They were expensive though, if I recall, and it was sort of like in the 80s. Like if you were going to the toy store, you had a limited budget, and you had to ask yourself, "Am I gonna like?" I was a GI Joe kid. Like, was I gonna steer away from GI Joe to take a chance with a Boglin?
Yeah.
And that was a tough decision to make.
I think the Boglin was bought for me. I think
that
was
that's
like
cool.
a birthday present or something.
Right, which is probably how most Boglins were entered households.
My dad must have been into the gross out toys because I don't remember choosing my first MadBall or Boglin or Germs.
Who was your first MadBall?
I think my first one was Oculus.
And Oculus is definitely like, if you gotta pick one that you just like screams cool, it's this. Because it's an eyeball. Who was your favorite?
My favorite is definitely Hornhead.
What is it about Hornhead?
I don't know, man. He's just like, he was cool because he had a horn.
Yeah.
Like he had a spike on his head. The rest of them were all super gross, but he was just like, he looked like he could mess some shit up.
I always thought that Screaming Mimi was the most tame. Like he was. I didn't like that one. You told me about the cartoon. Like I didn't even know growing up in the 80s that they did cartoon.
Too, yeah. I didn't know about that one as a kid. I did hear that that Screaming Mimi was like the first one they designed.
It looks like it. It looks like that it's like the one that they would probably market. I'm gonna go with Slobulus. I mean, he has an eye like melting out of his socket. Like,
yeah, it is great.
How can you go wrong with that? And then here's another like, I don't know. Do you incorporate this with the trend of the gross out food fighters?
I would say that's a tough one because it's like it's on the edge for me.
Yeah.
Food fighters always remind me of Pee-wee's Playhouse, where they would be in the fridge or in the freezer or whatever it was when the food was always doing stuff.
Yeah.
I always equate them together as opposed to them being their separate thing.
I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, I didn't appreciate food fighters because I didn't understand it. You didn't?
Yeah, I never saw them as a kid.
Well, I remember the packages were really big.
Oh, really?
The figures are small, and they had like very G.I. Joe like weapons, and I always liked them. But I always thought they were like, I actually appreciate them now, like as I got older.
Yeah, I like them now.
But there was something about like, hey, I'm gonna have a piece of pizza, like fight with a French fry. Like I never really understood like in the boardroom, like when they were like figuring out what to do, and they're like, hey, let's have pizza or like food, like with army gear and fight. Like that's the 80s, man.
What about army ants then?
Army ants, I would say
same thing. Or
I would say army ants were more in line with the muscle trend,
right?
Which we'll save that for another episode. But like the whole like mini figure trend.
Okay.
Like I would say that army ants, muscle,
because they're not posable.
Right.
Like these guys are articulated.
Plus, I don't know if army ants were really gross. They were just like creatures.
Right.
Like Battle Beast, Army Ants, Muscle. Like that was a whole genre of its own.
Yeah.
I wouldn't classify it, but I guess you're entitled to your own opinion.
What about like that boardroom mentality though? Like, do you think that was on the same line of like, hey, let's take this one thing and make it, you know, appealing because it's an army type thing? That's a
good theory. I remember the Army Ants got in trouble for their commercial.
Really?
Yeah, their commercial was like stop motion animation, and they, I guess, a parent, of course, like complained that like when the kid got the Army Ants, they didn't actually move like in the commercial, so they had to like remove the commercial or put a thing that said like toys don't really move.
The beginning of the disclaimer.
Yeah, it's like come on, dude. If like I'm a parent now, but even as a kid, I knew that those things were not moving around.
Right.
But Army Ants were cool. I liked them, but they were kind of, that was also one of those things where it was like you bought a pack of them and then you were good.
Yeah, well, for those I actually really liked those.
Really?
I collected those a lot, and I think that was during like the muscle time. We're getting way off topic.
Yeah, we are. Like Guts also was another one of those.
Yes.
But, we're totally destroying.
Did you know Germs at all?
Yes, Germs were tail end of that whole gross out.
Yes, but I think almost the epitome of their marketing was all about the gross out.
Yeah.
Like card art was a picture of your sister's face going,
really?
Ah! Like
I don't remember those.
It was like a little girl, like airbrushed girl that's just like screaming because the germs are so gross. And the back of it, all of their names were like sweaty stinkyosis. One of them's body odor, and one of them is belly button lint.
Did you have those?
Yeah, I had a bunch of them.
Are you like more of a 90s kid? Like I'm starting to like sense that like I'm older than you, I think. Like I see that.
I think we're actually the exact same age.
Yeah, Germs were cool. They were one of those
things. Do you think they were later?
I'm figuring that they're like 89, 90. But I could be wrong. Like, you know, my memory is like, you know,
I'm trying to remember when I had my first one.
I remember Germs were really cool. What I liked about them was I liked the things they came in. The test tubes. The test tubes. Like I was like, cool. I want the test tubes.
That was that was a brilliant marketing thing for display and storage.
Yes.
Adding it in, and also adding into the whole thing. Like, it's a germ, put it in a test tube.
Right.
But then you can turn that thing upside down, and it's a stand. Like, that was awesome.
I think, if anything, that they didn't... Did you have a few of them?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, actually, they are pretty cool.
They're neat. I mean, they're neat and cartoony.
Yeah, they're a lot cooler than I...
And they all had something that... I can't remember what any of these guys are.
Do you think that if they would have made the test tubes, like not see-through, so you didn't know which one you were getting, do you think they would have sold better?
I don't know then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now maybe they would go that route because
people just
blind
like
boxes is such a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. Blind box. I like the concept of blind boxes actually, even though like they get
so frustrating.
Yeah,
sometimes.
they are. Like they get expensive. Like those Loyal Subjects, Master Universe, and Thundercats. Like I think
they're getting too many expensive. Like one exclusive thing. At a store, and you have to like go.
Yeah, I mean to pay $10 to $12, it's like. Why don't they just like for $10 or $12? My thought on those, if you haven't seen those like Master Universe like super deformed, they're like cool action figures with super deformed heads. Like why don't they just do blind box like little figures?
Yeah.
Like I don't need the. I mean I guess that's part of the gimmick.
I kind of like the little weird heads.
Yeah, that's all right. I think I'd prefer if they would just like come out with small action figures with that level of posability, and I think they're well sculpted and just like not have the oversized head.
Yeah.
But it probably has to do with like licensing agreements to license it out. Like they can't look like whatever.
Yeah, that's Lego has stuff like that too, where they can't do action figures.
Right.
They have to do a set that has a figure in it.
Yeah, Garbage Pail Kids.
These are cool.
Yeah,
I don't know what these are.
It was like that's the thing is Garbage Pail Kids in the 80s got so huge that like they would slap their name on everything, like tacky snappers. These were popular, like anything like with the what would you call those? Those snappers? You get them out of Gumball Machine.
Yeah. Because there's it's like the Wacky Wall Walker is
the
name of the ones that roll down.
The octopuses that you throw.
Whip. Oh man.
Yeah,
because they have the sticky tongues and hands and stuff like that. Yeah.
All this shit is sort of coming back, and it's. I guess the point is the like.
Man, I'm a sucker for anything that they just throw the logo on.
Like
He-Man stuff, like the He-Man record player and like a He-Man kite or something. It's just like there was that show that was on the Toys That Made Us. They talked a lot about that. They would just be able to like throw their paper image onto something, an already existing product. Sometimes there's some cool things. Some cool things that came out of that, but most of the time it's garbage.
But that's what I think. That's what like gives it its personality, is that it's like literally could be anything, but then they put a sticker or like a logo on it.
Part of that world.
Although that like record player or like the cassette player, He-Man cassette player you have, I think it's got like a cutout like He-Man.
It's got like a 3D on it. That one has those. They actually did a really good job. That company. I can't remember what it's named. Nessa or Powertronics or something. But like, there's a board game for He-Man that like you'd think was terrible, but it's actually really fun to play. It's
like
super
maybe
simple.
if they didn't use the He-Man thing, they could have
still would be great.
It
still would be awesome.
I'm a sucker for buying like I saw like Centurion's like bike attachments or something. So some kid would put a Centurion thing on his bike and just rock it.
I found that I like walkie-talkies now.
Oh, okay.
Because they have walkie-talkies for everything. Like I've got laser tag walkie-talkies, I've got Centurion walkie-talkies, He-Man, Smurfs, G.I. Joe, like just all random.
Do they make
I think there is a market for Gross Out to come back in a better way than it is.
How would you do it better?
I think like the Mad Scientist type sets. There aren't any kits right now.
Okay.
Where you can like.
So you want like a hands-on.
Yeah, type? like creepy crawlers you know, like something where you have a material that goes into something else in some way.
Sense.
Like because like the slimes are huge.
My kids, they make slime.
It's so weird. Like my Instagram feed, I don't know how. I must have liked a slime video once because I have tons of them now. But it's like there's so many of just people squishing their fingers into slime. I would think that like, especially with parents liking it for their own reason, would end up buying it because they had that like Living Ice was one of theirs.
I don't remember that.
It's like it was basically a clear slime, but it was a non-Newtonian, like if you mix you're
getting smarter.
It's if you mix cornstarch and water together, oobleck I think is what they call it. You can snap it or you can like squish it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The ice was like that. Okay. So it was a clear gel slime that would like you could crumble it, but then it would all form back together.
That's cool.
But I think if they were to do like even if we're Mad Scientist, have it be the gross outside of it is like ew it's slime, but then the parents would actually be playing with it at night too.
I like what they're currently doing. My only complaint, like MadBalls is probably the best example of like a resurgence that I'm actually interested in. Yeah. My only complaint is that like I like the smaller Kid Robot ones, but those are more collector. I wish I had one of the new ones that are like mass market. But again, they're a little bit like
the little ones.
The sculpting of the original MadBalls, like they were like detailed and like.
Okay, here's a good example. Here's Slobulus.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. It's a little cartoony, though.
It's so cartoony. That's my only issue.
Yeah, like this is like cartoon, and then this is like this is gross. Like, but this is real.
Is this what the same thing with Grocery Gang is? Like, is it cartoony for cartoony's sake to keep it from being too gross? Is it too politically correct?
I think so.
Is Gross Out too politically correct?
I think it is. I think that's the thing. It's like we're gonna be gross out, but we're not gonna take it to the limit, because parents won't buy it. Like, were your parents apprehensive about buying you this stuff?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but, like, I'm sure they had opinions of it, but, like, like Garbage Pail Kids, I remember there was a bit of they got a backlash from parents about it being too gross, and some of those were really legitimately gross.
But I wonder if that's another thing of, like, a sign of the times, too. Did backlash give you news time so that it was advertised more? Like now with the internet,
and like that's true.
You know, like if somebody tweets something, then it gets everywhere.
Absolutely.
But is that
back then?
Did they try to do it?
Right. It was it is because that would be good publicity. But now, like just a push of the button can just destroy you. Right. You know, back then it took like work to be destroyed. Yeah. But
I think the thing I love about MadBalls is that they were made by American Greetings.
That's true.
Which is so strange for them to like have a side company. It was like
I think that
guys from Cleveland or something. There's
really?
there's a
I think
the name is on one of these.
Like, do you know Melapel? Are you familiar with Melapel?
No.
They did a lot of like gross out weirdos. You remember weirdos?
Oh, okay,
yeah, and that was like a whole branding too. Like if you look up Melapel, I think it's MELAPPEL. I'll put the right spelling, but like he's got a whole I guess.
Oh, it's a guy.
Yeah, it's a guy,
okay,
but like
huh.
like weirdos was like a whole thing, and like I wouldn't say it was a huge success, but like there's history behind it, like there's collection behind it, and it's pretty crazy. Ultimately, my thoughts are that like I think it's great that this gross out stuff has come back, but I do think it was amazing time capsule that we lived in the 80s, where you could just like find these gross, disgusting, like gory, bloody, slimy monster, grossness.
Yeah.
And it's great. Any final thoughts?
No, it's weird you saying that it's like a time capsule. Like sometimes I feel like some things should just stay the way they are.
Yeah.
Like these new guys are fun to collect, and when they're on clearance, it's great because you can get a bunch of them. But
I think it ruins the brand.
Maybe not ruins it. That's a really good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I guess it might taint my memory more than anything else.
It makes it safer. The thing is I mean, I think
my kid doesn't like these ones either.
Really?
Yeah.
But is that okay? But he likes the old ones?
No.
Oh.
No. He's a gross boy, but he doesn't like gross out toys.
Okay.
Like poop and fart jokes are his favorite things.
Yeah,
but
poop and fart
if I were to
jokes are
like
great.
throw this at him, he wouldn't catch it. He would dodge it because he does it like
he's
I always
scared
tried
of
to
it?
Well, no, but I would be like, oh, I want to kiss, and he would hate that. I just messed with him.
Yeah. I could see where if the product of today is not up to the standards of like that, I could see how it sort of it's kind of like watching the Transformers movie of today, and it's like it makes you a little bit embarrassed to say that you're a fan of Transformers because of but I think
it might just be that too much of that is happening for me right now.
Yeah, maybe.
There's so much like rehashing of everything.
Yeah.
That like I don't know, unless you make it your own and make it something completely different and new.
Right.
Then leave it alone.
I'll stay open-minded. I think Grocery Gang is a good I think 10 years from now, 15 years from now, there's going to be a generation of collectors buying Grocery Gang.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm appreciative that they're making it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, collectors will be extinct if we don't keep collecting. So it does create a whole like new group of collectors.
Yeah.
Please check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Tommy, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you had fun. Thanks for bringing some of your collection.
Of course.
And until next time, nerd out!
Those are creepy as hell.
Yeah.